Okay, it says we're live. I've clicked it. It's gone green. We're good to go. Welcome everybody who's listening to episode 19 now of the Xbox Live Party Podcast. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and this week I am joined by Fabio, as always, False Alucard, and the Jinner Gaming is back after his trip to Peppa Pig Land.
Adventures.
Yeah, his adventures in Peppa Pig
Adventures.
World.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
So, last week we didn't have a normal episode as such. For anyone that listened, we did a sort of a knockout sort of tier system to decide the best games console ever. And in a non-biased and totally unplanned way, we all decided that the Xbox 360 is the best games console ever, beating out the Sega Genesis, I think it was, and the Mega Drive in the finals somehow. And we caused havoc by eliminating the Switch, PS4, Xbox One very, very early.
Again, thank you so much to Phil Spencer for sponsoring that episode.
Yeah. Now, if only that was the case. But
yeah,
we don't mean to be. We weren't biased. It's just we all love Xbox 360.
Yeah. Jenna, you just lost a really fun episode, especially because Ash was really pissed when we were deciding the PS1 versus the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
During the beginning of it, we decided that the Nintendo 64 was better, and then he just got outraged.
Because it's not. The PS1, the PlayStation is better than... We're not getting into this again, but the PlayStation 1 is the best, and we all decided clearly it was the best. We're also being joined by Slayer. I think he's just loaded in, so hello, Slayer.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. Not a problem. And we're hoping Bob will join us as he always does, about 10 minutes late. So he'll probably pop up. But yeah, we'll jump straight in because there's loads to talk about. What has everyone been playing this week? So Fabio, what have you been playing?
So for this week, I wasn't able to play much. But most of it I played Call of Duty, really enjoyed, especially how the puzzles from that game work. Really beautiful, really interesting. I loved the mechanics. And yeah, it's not for everyone because not everyone will enjoy a walking simulator, in my opinion. That's how I consider that game. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I'm also playing Outriders and Gear Stacked. And yeah, that is it for me. But most of the time, I'm mostly dealing with some stuff that to manage my storage from the Series S, because yeah, that console internal storage is their main issue, to be honest. And yeah, I'm using an external hard drive, and surprisingly, I've been able to run games inside their external hard drive that are optimized for the next gen console. Not just Halo Master Chief Collection, but also Ori and the Will of the Wisps, State of Decay 2, and also, what is the name of the game? We Happy Few. Those games run with all the optimizations. You will end up losing a little bit of the speeds from the loading screens. But yeah, it works really well. Later, I'll need to test more, and then I can do a full list of games that I was able to run there.
Nice. What about you, Alucard? What have you been playing?
Well, I just beat the Medium, so I really like that game. It was pretty cool. It's not that scary of a game, but it has a really cool story, and it's like a mystery. So I beat that. Then I was playing this game called Black Hole, and then I stopped playing it because I couldn't get past a certain part, and there's no videos on this game basically, so you have no way to get help. So it's like I just gave up. But that game was pretty cool, at least for a little while, until I gave up. And then I started I started an RPG, Soul Pierre and the Great Architects. If you ever heard of that. but that's like a Japanese RPG. It's kind of like Final Fantasy. And then that's about it because I've been watching a lot of TV shows lately. I need a little break sometimes, do something different.
I don't blame
How
you.
dare you? How dare you to watch TV when you have an Xbox?
I know. I used it to watch TV too.
Literally, that's all that goes through my telly is my Xbox.
You disgust me. Simple as that.
I know that's what they would say. That's what they would say on Twitter, right?
I don't even know you anymore.
So.
Are you at least watching like Halo Legends on Netflix or something?
I was watching the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. It was pretty ridiculous, but
Holy crap.
yeah.
What about you? Do you know what you've been playing?
I was just about to say a good video game kind of documentary movie is The King of Kong. If you've ever seen that.
That's good. I enjoyed that.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. It's so good.
It's a very strange world, isn't it? Wanting to be the guy who's the best at Donkey Kong, even if they cheat and suck at it. And so
he never proved.
No, true. Didn't he fight it in court as well, or something like that? At some point? So.
Like he could only do it in his basement. It must be a cheated copy. Yeah. And it's like, no, it's real. I just fold under pressure. So.
They need another sequel. It'll be King of Kong 2. That's all it is. It's all a big ploy. Yeah.
I just love the guy who thinks he's a celebrity and always turns up with the women. Just walking around. It's just such a...
It reminds me, have you seen Pixels?
Yes, I was about to say, they are like the characters from Pixels, but it's real. These are real people competing for the highest scores on Donkey Kong. It's amazing.
Why are you... What is going on? Like, why are you mentioning Pixels?
Pixels is a good bad film. It's one of those films that's so bad.
No,
it's enjoyable.
No,
like every Adam Sandler film, it's so bad. It's good. Yeah. Plus, at least with that, it has the sort of video game references, so you can enjoy it a bit more as a nerd.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Angry video game. That's what the Angry Video Game Nerd movie was. It was like the games are so bad that they're good. That was like the message. You can't stop playing it because it's so bad.
If anyone who hasn't seen King of Kong, you need to go watch it. And also, I've just taught myself into watching it again because I think it's just such a good move. It's such a good thing to watch. It's great.
So what have you been playing then?
Do you know what? I've been busy. Obviously, I haven't seen you guys for a couple of weeks. Damn kids and family getting in the way. How dare they? I know. Peppa Pig, living the dream. I've been playing a lot of Outriders this week. Really good game. At times, it looks like an Xbox 360 game. At other times, I'm hitting capture on my controller as fast as I can because things look amazing. It's like one or the other. It never looks average. It either looks amazing or you're looking at it like, oh my god, they cut corners here. I've played a bit in the Rita Boy. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that game on here before.
A little bit. Just
a little bit.
Just a little. Is this what your third playthrough of it? Because holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I turned up late here because I was playing it again earlier. So I was recording another session, and then I was like, "Oh shit! Look at the time." I love it. I love the game. So yeah, I've been playing that. I tried Knockout City for a few games because I heard that was good. It's okay. I played. I can't even remember the name of it now. Super Animal Royale.
Yeah, that 2D top-down free-to-play game.
Oh my god, that's fun!
Is it good?
That game looks more fun than like PUBG. I don't know why.
Oh no, PUBG is fun though. I once played a game on PUBG, and everyone takes it right serious. And I was just driving around because I hadn't had a clue what I was doing. Some randomer gets on the back of this motorcycle, and I'm like, "Let's go!" And I just drive into a tree by accident. He flies off and hits a rock and dies, and I got a kill out of it. I was like, "Yes!" The only time I seem to do anything in PUBG.
Wasn't there a moment where I was driving a bike and you were with me, and then we hit a tree?
Yeah, that was another time. Who were we playing with then? We were playing with someone then.
Yeah, we were playing with one of our friends from the.
I can't remember who it was.
Club.
Wasn't Smooth.
Yeah,
It
I
was
don't
someone
remember
else.
No, it wasn't Smooth.
Bull or something like
Wasn't
that.
Smooth.
Some weird name. I can't remember his gamer tag, but he was cool. It was fun. He's
He is a really nice guy.
Yeah, he
Really
was like,
nice guy.
don't go outside the building, and then it's like we're going outside the building.
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
died.
and that's the first thing we just did. Simple as that.
Sorry, Jenny, keep going. We keep going off topic.
It's my own fault. I keep bringing up these games. Yeah, I thought that was. I actually think that's quite a cool game. The Super. I keep forgetting the name. Super Furry Animals. I keep calling it. Actually, no, it is
Super Animal
Royale. That's the one. It's quite fun. I really like the field of view effect that it has. So, as you move around buildings, it shades shadows on the map, and if people move into it, you can't see them, which you occasionally get in real-time strategy games. But this is like a battle royale, top-down looking game that is implementing it at all times, and it's great because you can hide around the corner and lose people. And not that I can't, I'm rubbish at it, but other people can if they're okay at it. That's about it for me. I've just been playing a bit of everything. Planet Coaster, I got addicted to that again because obviously I went to a theme park, which means I've got to spend 20 hours trying to build a new theme park on a game afterwards. And then the only other thing I played recently was, it's escaped my mind. Couldn't have been that good. It's completely gone. There's one more game I know I've been playing, and it's just gone. All I keep thinking is, how has Alucard only just started the medium now?
I've not even got to the end of it yet. I'm like halfway through, and I'm at that bit where you can die.
The grind.
I'm at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to replay the game for a second time to get the achievement for not dying. So I need to sit there and do it when I'm in a frame of mind where I don't mind restarting it a couple of times if I need to. Because that's literally, there's like one, I'll not spoil it for anyone, but there's like one sort of like 10-15 minute section in the game where you can be killed, and there's an achievement for not being caught through this entire section of it. So as an achievement hunter, I don't want to play it all.
Not spoil it for you, but to make you aware.
I don't want to spoil anything, but the demon is your father. That's it. That's it.
I was gonna say there's actually, not to put you on edge, but there's 3 or 4 times you can die in the game. So.
Spoilers, man.
Spoiler, but yeah, there's a lot of times you can die. So you think that one is it? And what kills you most is bad camera angles.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's not a perfect game, but we'll be talking about the medium more in a little bit as well. What about you, Slayer? What have you been playing?
Sorry, I had to disconnect real quick to see if I could fix my camera, but it doesn't seem to be working with me, so can't have my camera today. But yeah, I've been hope you guys are doing well, by the way. I've been actually playing a lot of Biomutant. And I got like maybe 9 hours of that game this week, and played a little bit of Human Fall Flat with some friends. It was a lot of fun. A lot of laughs that game. They actually released a new level called The Forest. Played through that one and just kind of played through some of the other levels in the game because it's a lot of fun. Up to 8 players, and I believe it's on Gamepass, so it's free for anyone who has Gamepass. Awesome game. Played a bit of
next gen enhancements as well, hasn't it?
Oh yes, recently. Yeah, I think it was like last week.
Yeah, but like next gen enhancements for Human Fall Flat. Oh my god.
I mean, hey, the game looks good, it runs well, it's super smooth. I think it's it's a win-win either way. The lighting's really good. There's like the city level with a lot of neon lights, and that level really pops in my opinion on the Series X.
Like, oh yeah, for sure, it's a good thing, but I would consider it's mostly like this next gen patch for this game to be mostly about performance. Not necessarily about the graphics.
I think like I said, the lighting is a little bit better than before, improved. Shadows, I think a little bit.
It just makes me laugh.
Nice.
And reminds me of those Ratalaika games that are all Xbox Series X and S only. So when you install them, they have to be installed on your internal storage. Because
those games
next gen enhanced.
Yeah.
It's the quickest install and uninstall ever, though, isn't it? They're only on your hard drive for about 2 hours at best, and then they're gone. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then other than that, I played a bit of Armello. Did like a match or 2 with a few friends of mine. Streamed that on Twitch for the first time. That was fun. I think we have 3 days left for the Fortnite Battle Pass right now, so I'm trying to finish that up. I think I'm at level like 90 something right now, so I have just a few more levels to 100. And last but not least, I played some Dying Light because that Dying Light 2 gameplay trailer got me excited, and I wanted to play through that game again.
That's a great
So
game.
yeah. Oh hell yeah, that game is amazing. I actually was, as I was playing with my friend, I told him this has to be like my favorite co-op game ever because of the fact that it's just like it's a good game to begin with, and it's pure co-op. Like you can pretty much, like, other than like maybe the first 1 or 2 hours of the game, which is just like a tutorial that you have to play through single player. After that, the game opens up completely and you can play through the whole game co-op, like every single quest, just play around, like, explore around, run around, do everything together. It's awesome. Up to 4 players, which is amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, when you
Has
go
me
out
super
at
excited
night,
for number 2.
oh, man. It's scary
Oh
when you
yeah.
go out at night, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
I keep
Yeah,
looking
it's
at
worth
the
it,
Platinum
'cause-
Edition or the Diamond Edition or whatever edition they brought out last week.
Yeah.
So it's on sale at like 75% off, and it's got all the
Yep.
DLC included. So if you haven't got Dying
Yeah.
Light 1, it's probably the cheapest I think I've ever seen it at the moment with all the DLCs.
Especially, yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Because even when it goes on
100%.
sale, it's still normally quite expensive. But this
Mm.
one is cheaper than it used to be, and you get all the DLC included. And there's quite a lot. There's like 2 story DLCs, loads of weapons, items, and I'm sure there's like a Viking pack as well. I was like, that's amazing. I need a Viking.
Yeah, they have a bunch of
outfit.
costumes and stuff in that game.
Like maybe they will do this sale again when the second game launches, like just to celebrate the release.
Probably.
No, because why would you
Yeah.
want to take people off of the first game? Maybe a month before, but they won't do it at the same
Maybe.
time because then people will be like, well, why am I going to pay 70 quid for
Well, but probably they will bring it back. It doesn't matter what time whatsoever. They will bring it back.
Yeah, I'm sure. Christmas and everything.
Yeah.
You've been playing
I mean,
anything
Xbox
else?
has a lot of good sales, so. No, I mean, I think that's a pretty big list in my opinion. Well, I did finish up Lost Planet 2.
No. Oh, I think you
that was-
mentioned that the other day, didn't you, as well? You were finishing it up.
Yeah.
That might have been to me, though, on
Oh.
Xbox Live, not on last week's podcast.
Yeah. We were, my friends and I, and that was my first time actually finishing the whole game. So it was really interesting to see the ending. Pretty cool.
Mhm.
Nice. And we have been joined by Bob. How's it going, good sir?
It is going awesome.
Sunglasses on as
Every week.
always.
Oh my God.
It's very sunny right now in Kentucky. It's sunny, hot, and humid, and I'm just relaxed.
Okay.
What have you been playing this week then?
Unfortunately, nothing. This is a bit of an off week for me. I started a new job on Tuesday after the holiday, and my hours and everything is all messed up, and I'm still trying to find the right groove to get my passion of gaming into my everyday life.
It's just what
But
happens.
I'm excited by the fun that the Gina has been having with Outriders. I love that game. I can't wait to get back to it.
He's living
I
through
did,
you. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the game through him, and right now that's unfortunately all I have time to do. I did try a little bit of Biomutant over the weekend, and I'm still I mean, I like it, but at times, I'm one of those players that really likes to get to the nitty gritty and get, there's an awful lot of talking done by the NPCs in Biomutant, and
Yeah.
it's like pulling teeth trying to get through all the dialogue. So,
I mean, you could skip through it though. I do want to say that the game, to your point, the game has a slow start. I did notice that. Like, it took me maybe like 3 hours to actually get into it until like it actually started getting like opening up and getting interesting. But you could skip through most of the dialogue, and yeah, I do get exactly what you're saying, because the NPCs have like a made up language, and then the game lets them talk, and then the narrator comes in and actually says the English piece, and it's just like, okay, cool, but like it sometimes makes no sense, because sometimes the English narrator says like 2 words, but the NPC speaks for like 5 seconds. It's like, what?
Yeah. And with me being new to, and well, everybody really being new to the Biomutant world and the lore, there's nothing, I don't want to miss anything. So I'm stuck just listening to and dissecting every part of it. And it's just a slow start. I'm sure I love what gameplay I've already gotten to play. And I'm sure that I'll love the game. It's just getting through these early points in the game. It's really tough if you like to get right in and get to the nitty gritty. But other than that, I'm excited for E3. E3 can't get here soon enough. So
week
bring
to
it
go.
on.
Yeah, just me with Belen trying to talk to you with my mic on. So with mute on.
I just want to point out that Ash just got mute for 2 seconds there. He was just talking like crazy, but no one was listening to anything.
Just want to say a big hello to Stubbs Gaming and Sensei's Thoughts in the chats who have been saying hello. So how's it going, everyone? There are a fair few people watching. Click that like button. Let's get the likes up to the same amount of numbers as the viewers. Let's make this episode.
Let's make this episode to receive a better reception than last episode.
Yeah, clearly people didn't want to hear
it out as well. Spread the news.
Sensei's Thoughts is calling me out in the chat saying, "Don't you talk ill of Biomutant, Bob."
Yeah.
I love it. I love the art style and I love the gameplay. I'm just saying that there's a lot of talking. That's all.
Oh, it's on now. It's on. He's thrown the gauntlet down.
There's two things I love about Bob. It's his energy he brings, and also whatever anyone else calls me, he will always call me the Gina, which just makes my day. You know. I love it.
Do you prefer us to call you by your real name?
I think we should call him Gina from now on.
First name ever.
Should I mention your name here, or should we
Absolutely not. My real name gives me shivers.
You ever watch South Park? You ever watch South Park? You remember the episode where they went over the gingers and how gingers don't have souls?
Yep. I may have had it mentioned to me once or twice.
Damn, that's harsh.
I thought you were going to say about how his granddad doesn't call him his right name. He's always calling him Billy.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, Billy. Right, I'll get us back on topic.
It is true, though. I think most ginger people I meet don't really give a shit. I think it's the lack of soul that kind of helps them. It must
right
be.
on. You got to be able to laugh at it.
Slayer kissing ass in chat with Sensei, trying to get on his good side, saying Biomutant's amazing.
Yeah.
To be fair, I haven't played much of substance this week myself. I've been playing a load of those Chess Knight games for review copies. So that with Chess Knight, Shinobi, Knight's Retreat, and I'm just finishing up the last of the achievements on Chess Knight's Viking Lands. Fun little chessy based puzzle games. I've been playing a lot of Dirt 5, more than I really should, and I'm waving on the screen now. Stubbs is asking which one of us is the Xbox Live Party Twitter account person. That would be me, Ash. I'm the one who deals with it most of the time, so it's probably me you've spoken to. But yeah,
if you have any complaints, that's the direction they go.
Yeah,
and then I forward them on to Fabio and blame him.
You know the asshole who always gets to pick a fight because of his stupid fanboy stuff. He's the guy, okay?
That's it.
Fanboys.
But
there we go. We just lost Stubbs. Thank you very much.
But yeah, I played Dirt 5. I finished the career mode, and literally all I've got left to do now is play every single race in the career mode, because there's an achievement for finishing every single race and hitting like level 50 and driving a certain amount of miles, which I should get by the time I finish playing through it again. And I enjoy the multiplayer. it's fun. We've all had a laugh. I mean, I've been playing with you, Fabio. I played with Agina, and I played with you,
Yeah.
Alucard, and stuff, and we've had a laugh. My only complaints about it are it's rather limited in the amount of stuff it has. So there's not a lot of cars, and honestly, as soon as you get one good car, you pretty much don't use any others. And there's a massive lack of variety in sort of like tracks and sort of not tracks as such, but areas. So there's loads of different tracks in each area, but they'll like be reverse, shorter, longer, night, day, wet. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it could use a lot more content, but I am enjoying it. It's I've played it quite a bit, but I don't think I'll play it much more than like multiplayer with you guys once I've completed the career mode fully. But like I say, it's free on Gamepass, so I can't complain. And then also I've been playing what's on the screen at the moment is the Asterix and Obelix XXL remaster, XXL2 remaster, which is just a remaster of an old sort of PS2 platforming game. And I'm quite enjoying it. I just really fancied a 3D platformer, and I saw it on sale, and I thought, you know what, I'll get that. And I've been playing quite a lot of it. It's a very 90s game. It's got lots of all the bad guys are sort of themed around video games and stuff like that. So like there's people that look like Sonic and Rayman and stuff like that. And one of the bad guys is called Larry Croft, and he's like a big fat guy in like a crop top and stuff, looking like Lara Croft. But it's a solid enough platformer. It's got issues, but it is what it is for a game of its time. And then probably the best review game I played this week was Donuts and Justice, which is like a 2D. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. It is a 2D shoot 'em up side scroller, and it's basically like an 80s shoot 'em up game. But it's just stupid and over the top, and you're like just shooting ninjas and stuff like that in one sense, and then next thing you're taking on like alien donuts and stuff like that. And that came out on Friday. I was lucky enough to get like a pre-release copy to sort of test it and do a review before it came out. And that is really, really fun, and it's co-op split screen as well if anyone's got a copy. So you can check the review out on our YouTube channel, or I think it's only about £4 or £5 of that. And you'll get an hour or two out of it easy, and it's a good fun game. But other than that, I've not played much. I've just been sort of finishing off games I haven't completed fully, so nothing of a major interest really, other than the same sort of stuff over and over just to get that 1000G. Let's see, we've had a few things in chat, loads of people talking today, so hello everyone. Don't forget to spam that like button to let everyone know how that we're here. Stubbs is like, as long as we don't insult the original Gears trilogy, we're fine. No, I am a big fan of Gears, so you've got no worries from me and probably most of the people here. So
yeah, I added in that I'm one of the few people that actually I really enjoyed Judgment. You just have to accept it for what it is and don't expect it to be what it's not. So
no,
Judgment,
I enjoy Judgment. I really enjoy Judgment also.
I've not played Judgment.
It was a very arcadey feel to the Gears recipe that appealed to a lot of players, and it was very fast paced, and it made campaign competitive with the active scoring during levels. It was good for what it was. Very good.
Yeah, not just the scoring, but also the way they decided to include some optional objectives for you to complete during the levels, like so you could use, like for example, like they are in a certain situation, and then the level says for you to complete the level as the story truly tells, you need to do this, and then you have the option to do it or not. And like I really enjoyed that. I think it was really awesome.
Gina and Slayer disagree with us.
Really?
Let me put my counter argument forward as this. No. It's not a good game. Like, I love the Gears. I love all of them.
Well,
the first half of Gears 4 was a bit bad. Second half of Gears 4, incredible. Gears 5, great. Gears Judgment,
But
can't.
Gina, here's the thing. That's why we don't care about you and we never pay attention to you.
Wait,
As simple
what?
as that.
Who said I don't like Judgment? I've never even actually played it, so I can't say anything. I've only played the original trilogy and number 5. I played Judgment for like maybe 2 missions.
That was
Not
enough.
not because I didn't like it, but just because I just other games came out when I started playing it, so you know.
Oh.
I like the Gear series, I do.
Oh,
So don't think I don't.
That's
And
it,
I
mate.
don't have
You're
anything to
gonna
say.
have all
I
the-
have to play. I have to play through Judgment to actually give you my good solid opinion on that.
Well,
Is
me
it
and
on
the
Game
wife
Pass?
were me and the wife were really big Gears fans, just like the Halo series. We're very big Halo fans, and we're very invested in the story. So when we started playing Judgment, it did kind of catch us off kilter a little bit. But we quickly adjusted our expectations because of our love for this series and accepted it for what it was supposed to be and let go what it was not supposed to be. So we did have different expectations, but we quickly adjusted them so that we enjoyed it.
I did
Nice.
not.
Well,
Well-
that's why you are the special guy from the podcast, okay?
Okay.
Right, we'll actually
Just
get
kidding,
into the
buddy. No.
news at some point today. We'll start off with the sort of more slightly negative stuff, so we can move on to the cooler, happier game news, and then eventually end with our E3 predictions. But we're going to jump straight in with all the crap that's been going mad on Twitter this week. Sony showcased Horizon, the 2 game, the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. Not only did it look absolutely fantastic, it
Yep.
did look amazing. They did I like how Sony do their deep dives where they show like 10 minutes of gameplay and then have a little bit afterwards talking about it. I feel like Xbox need to do something like that. Maybe not at E3 and the E3 show, but after E3. Because even Nintendo have announced that they're going to do like an hour-long show or a 40-minute show and then 3 hours of sort of deep dives afterwards on a separate show. And I think that's the way to go with it. But after that trailer came out, they didn't show a release day of this year. They've been a bit hesitant in announcing a release date, and then they had an interview with the head of like PlayStation Studios, who said while Horizon is on track for the end of the year, they can't guarantee it's gonna come out in 2021, but it is on progress. But Gears of War, Ragnarok, as it's currently codenamed,
Gears of War.
God of
Gears of
War.
War, God
Gears
of
of
War.
War.
Just because I'm reading,
Gears of War.
I'm reading,
Yes.
I'm reading the
Nice.
YouTube chat as we go. So that's a
Nice.
crossover. That
There we go,
God
guys.
of War and Gears of War crossover.
Insider Ash is telling us that there is going to happen. Gears 6, Gears of War
Crossover.
Ragnarok. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Just jump
That's
on
the
there
game.
and
That's the game.
steal the name. But no, so that's been delayed to 2022, even though they've not actually shown it, and all they've shown is a logo. But that's been delayed to 2022. It doesn't look like Gran Turismo 7 is going to come out this year. That looks like a 2022. But the main big like red herring in all of that was that they're going to be cross-platform now. They're actually coming out for PS4 and PS5. That's God of War and Gran Turismo 7. So, which goes against pretty much all of the advertising and marketing that's been going on at Sony. I'm sure the Gran Turismo 7 trailer even said exclusive to
It did.
PS5 in the trailer. And there's been no
Yep.
word of a PS4 on the original God of War release or the announcement. I understand it from a business perspective. I totally understand it. Xbox are doing that, but Xbox have been really upfront about it, and they got absolutely destroyed on Twitter for the last sort of 6 to 7 months from idiots. Now the table's flipped, and now it's fine. Everyone's like, well, it makes sense. It's business and all that stuff. What do you guys think to all this? Because honestly, I've tried not to wade into it. I just laugh at the comments and the flip flopping
So-
from people.
I'm I have a very interesting perspective on this, and I understand what Sony did believe in generations, but because of the pressure that's going on right now between China and Taiwan and this big chip shortage that we're seeing, they're believing in generations doesn't make sense because of the chip shortage, because they can't get the consoles out. So if they're going to continue to release software, it needs to be software everybody can use. So they're basically, their hand is forced to make everything playable on the PS4 as well. And I'm grateful for that, because my PS4 right here, I don't have a PS5. I wasn't lucky enough to get one, but I will still be able to experience the new software. And I mean, it is what it is. And I mean, Xbox has this whole thing going for them because they've always been open that, before we even knew there was going to be a chip shortage, they said everything's going to be playable on the Xbox One platform, PC, and Series platform. And Sony went the different direction, banking on they were going to be able to have consoles that they could sell and that would help push consoles. But now they don't have consoles to sell because of the chip shortage. So they're going to help out their software sales by making everything on both platforms. And I mean, it is what it is. Their hand is forced. I believe they would have went with that generations if they had generations to sell.
Oh no, I totally agree
Yeah,
with
but
you. But like Sensei says in the comments, Sensei thoughts he's put Sony does not have a clear messaging on the roadmap. As a consumer,
Yeah.
that's bad business. See, I totally agree with you in the whole generations and the lack of availability and stuff like that. And that's probably a big reason for it. But after they've gone so deep and they've had that catchphrase, we believe in generations and Xbox doesn't, and you've got to get basically telling you the only way you're going to play this stuff is if you buy a PS5, to then just spin it to say, oh, it's coming out on PS4 as well. It is a kind of a kick in the teeth, because I bet some people have rushed out and bought PS5s for God of War 2 and GT7, thinking they were going to get it this year, and two, that it was only going to be on the PS5, which it now isn't. So it's kind of shady tactics, in my opinion.
I
yeah,
think I think they always knew they were going to release these games cross-gen. They just didn't want to say it. Like, there's no way they can make a game for PS5 with all the better textures, sounds, game design, and then port it down to a PS4 within 7 months of release. Like, they keep saying we can only do these things on PS5, it wouldn't run on a PS4. Well, if that's the case, how have you managed to not only get it to run on a PS4, but design the game so that it would have always run on a PS4 within 7 months of launch? I'm with Ash. I think the plan was they wanted people to buy a PS5, so they've sold these experiences as only being on a PS5. If start of this gen, they would have said the exclusives we're going to have are Returnal, which none of you have heard of at this point, because nobody was hyping that till a month before, and Ratchet and Clank, and that's all you're getting for the year. Loads of people would have held off buying a PS5, but by saying, here's Gran Turismo, it's only PS5, here's God of War 2, here's Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and these are only PS5, people are buying that console. And now we're 7 months in, and it turns out only one of those games is actually going to be PS5 only.
I want to
but like,
believe them, but I don't know if I can because of God of War. They said that game was coming out this year. There's no way it was going to come out this year. They showed a
it
logo.
was just a logo.
That is the biggest bullshit marketing I've ever heard.
I like the
And-
people online that were saying, no, they were just announcing when the full trailer will come out. Like, when have you ever heard of a trailer, like a teaser trailer for a trailer? What a load of crap.
that's
Yeah,
why I can't believe them, man. Because like they lie about, like, it's either they lie or they change their mind so much that you can't tell if it's a lie or
like
not.
I gotta say that I'm with Bob on this, because I do think that they forcefully intended to really release those games only for the next generation, but with all the trouble that has been going on right now, they needed to finally support the base that is installed on PS4. And we may be wrong. We may be wrong, of course. There's always this possibility. You guys may be right about that, but either way, I think it's great that Sony is supporting PS4 also, not just we are going to fuck you. If you bought the PS4 and you were you intended to buy the new games and play them, fuck you. You need to now buy a PS5 for that. Like, I think it's just
Exactly.
great
And
that their games are going to be cross-gen. And this is what I liked about the Xbox approach, because I like to see how they support previous
Oh, Fabio's potatoing again.
Yeah. Can't hear you, man. Sorry.
Just his audio this time.
on what
I can't hear
just to
anything you say.
reiterate my point. I mean, yes, I do believe it is also kind of shady, because do I think they could have ran these games all along on PS4 and PS5? Yes, I do believe, except for the changing and the warping in Ratchet and Clank, dependent on the SSD. I do believe they could have always ran Horizon Zero Dawn, the new Ragnarok, God of War. I do believe they could have always done this on the PS4. But they
Yeah.
were pushing the PS5, and because they don't have the consoles to push, now nonchalantly they are saying it's going to be on both, but they're never going to come out and say it could have always been on both all along, but we were leaving one out to sell consoles.
Yeah, they're never gonna say that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I mean, that would be like suicide in the industry if they did come out and say, hey,
Oh.
we're not really for the players.
No, I
Yeah.
agree though. There's
we-
nothing wrong with supporting the PS4, and honestly, it
But
makes sense.
Did you read that? Did you read that article though? Him saying how it wouldn't make sense or whatever not to support the PS4, and it's better for our players and stuff like that. It sounds
Yeah.
like to me that they were going to do this all along. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's just a tough one. But I don't agree with it. I think they should have just been straight up front.
Since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just don't think people need to have that same energy online, all the trolls and stuff. If you can't defend Sony for doing it, and after attacking Xbox and Microsoft for this for 7 months, it's exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
It's
like
not-
that's really stupid. Like, people are now bragging and making fun about that. Oh yeah, PlayStation is now doing cross-gen. They are now holding back the generation. Xbox just announced this first. This is the beginning of it. What are you talking about? And this is not holding back the generation. This is just respecting the consumer, I would say.
Oh. Well, the thing is, like they say, like the lowest common denominator is PC without an
Yeah.
SSD. Most people, I don't think, have a SSD on PC. I don't know if that's true or not, but so I don't know.
I think, PC, like you said, now will be for a few years the lowest point once next gen transitions to dropping the old consoles, because not only SSDs, like you said, but also graphics cards are nigh on impossible to get hold of, and they're expensive, and then you need a certain RAM and certain CPU, not just a GPU. So it's going to get to a stage where PC will be the lowest common denominator, but they scale well across PC. They always have done, and consoles are basically just becoming PCs, aren't they? So
Yeah.
it'll get to a stage where a game won't run unless you got an SSD, I imagine. In a couple of
Yeah.
years, that's going to be the norm.
Probably, yeah.
That's the problem, though. That the SSDs are not widely used in PCs, so they're not going to be the main focus at the moment. When the SSDs are everywhere, then there'll be a requirement properly. But right now, the majority of players out there on most machines use just hard drives. Do you know what I mean? And the people that do use SSDs aren't using them in the way that these new consoles are using them. They're using them as like external SSDs and stuff, where yes, you get a bit of a benefit, but you're not getting that sort of raw benefit from having it built in, basically, sort of internally. Do you know what I mean? So
Go back to what you said about the trolls having like a flip-flop attitude on the news as well. It's mainstream media outlets as well. I don't know if you've seen people sharing, like IGN saying like, "Oh, you need to give me a reason to buy a Series X. This doesn't make sense." And then they did an article after this news came out saying, "Great news for PS4 owners. 100 million of you won't be cut off to God of War 2." And it's like, oh, okay, that's the complete same news, but spanned in a completely different way. Of
Yeah.
100 million of you have good news. Whereas when it's Xbox doing it for 50 odd million, it's why should I buy this new console? There's no reason.
Yeah.
It's the exact
Yeah,
same thing.
it's mostly because people do consider that Xbox is desperate because their games are now being released on PC day one, and then they need exclusives, and like it's just, oh my god.
Yeah, it's silly, and then don't forget they also blocked crossplay on the upcoming, or for some weird reason Sony are not allowing crossplay on Borderlands, the new Borderlands 3 patch, probably due to Gearbox not wanting to pay Sony to have crossplay. But that's a whole other topic. We could get into this for a whole show about media bias, internet idiots, all that sort of stuff. And let's put a line under it. It sucks. Horizon looks amazing. The Horizon 2 looks amazing. I cannot wait for that. And I'm glad, like I say, it's staying on PS4 as well. I'll probably just end up just rebuying a PS4 in future and playing it on that, because until the PS5 revision comes out, because I know a few people have had odd little issues with PS5 that I just don't want to have to deal with. Not anything major, but like coil whir would drive me insane. If it whirred on me, I would throw it through my window. It would do my nutting. So for now, I'm just going to stick with a PS4. I'll be able to play most of the games. To be fair, the ones I really wanted to play were Spider-Man, Miles, and Horizon. The only other one is Ratchet, because that looks amazing. But right now, it's not coming to anything else. Maybe it'll come to PC. Maybe it will come to PS4 in future. We don't know, but I don't think it will. I think they're going to be. I think they're at least making effort using the SSD in Ratchet. So, yeah, we'll move on. We'll move on to more.
Just one thing. Also, more good news for fans that are excited for Ratchet and Clank, the new game. Insomniac Games just announced that there's going to be a 60 FPS mode and also a 60 FPS ray tracing mode for that game. So really nice.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing what the quality difference is on that, to see how big a difference it is. But Insomniac are wizards. It's going to look amazing.
Good,
yeah.
Way, like, just there's no denial about that, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll jump into the topics then. First up, we haven't got it on our list, but it's Pride Month, and Xbox have released a load of Pride merch. You can see me proudly sporting the Master Chief helmet one. They do all sorts. There's Psychonauts, Age of Empires Pride t-shirts, bags, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to show some support and just get awesome t-shirts, they're available on the Xbox Gear Store. So it's nice to see stuff like that come out. I'm disappointed that the controllers are what is it? They're only giving them out to media and influencers, and they're one of the most gorgeous looking Xbox pads I've seen in ages. It's basically that, but on a pad like that sort of pattern. And I'm absolutely gutted.
Really well done.
Yeah, why is it only influencers? Get them on store. Put a tenner on top of them and give that to sort of pride charities and good causes and stuff like that. There's no reason for it. And like I said, what annoys me the most, though, I like that I'm all supporting the pride, and we welcome everyone here. Gaming's for everyone as well, no matter what race, sexuality, anything like that. But the fact that none of the profits from this go to charity, they're just making a one-off donation, is a bit shitty in my opinion. A percentage, in my opinion, if you're going to sell t-shirts, a percentage should go towards charities or those sort of causes. So that's just one little niggle. I didn't realise till after I bought it, but I love this t-shirt. It's so comfy, it's thin, so with this heat at the moment, it's really good. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. I really wish I could get the pad, but yeah, unfortunately,
we won't get it.
Yeah, I don't class as an influencer. Maybe when I'm a hardcore, deep achievement inside, and maybe that'll change.
Aren't you already dead?
Well, I need to be proven right. I need to see if there is actually that correct amount of achievements in Psychonauts to truly prove my worth.
haven't
I
got
thought
that
Toys for Bob
verification
could get us a
tick yet.
controller.
Yeah, yeah. Why can't
What?
Bob get Toys for Bob to give us controllers?
Bob, what's going on?
Come on, man, you're slacking.
Hey, different Bob. Different Bob.
Now, right. So there's been some news about Xbox and the new AMD Fidelity FX
Mhm.
software. Does someone want to cover this? Because I haven't read enough into it to know exactly what it means. So, which of you guys? One of you guys shared it with me, and I haven't actually read it yet. So fully.
Oh, stop showing off your Halo T-shirt, will you? You're making me jealous.
I've got my laptop on like pens to raise it off the table because it's red hot and it's slowly cooking on the so.
So it was actually me who shared it because I've been reading up on this since they announced the Xbox, and it's been talked about as something that was coming in the long run. And this week AMD showed it. They announced PS5 has RDNA 2, so everyone can put that to bed. However, they didn't confirm it was full RDNA 2 because AMD and Xbox have both confirmed only Xbox has full RDNA 2, which opens another can of worms we shouldn't get into here because fanboys will crawl out the woodwork to say 2.5 or 1.5.
Yeah.
And the way this new update basically for Fidelity FX that's going to work is going to apply to all AMD graphics cards. It's on PC, it's coming to Xbox soon, and it boosts resolution or frame rate the way NVIDIA does with its DLSS. So the demonstration they used was Godfall, which obviously launched on PS5, and they were showing that it can get on I think it was a 2060. I may be wrong. I think it was a 2060, and they were getting it from around 30 frames per second on 4K ultra settings up to over 60 frames a second. And they got up to like 69, 70 FPS with all the ultra settings turned on. So they were saying you can either do it where two ways. You can either run a game which will be in 4K, that you can get it to run in 4K, and you can just double the frame rate. Or if you've got a game that runs at 60 in 4K, you can use it then to double the frame rate to 120. Or if you want to keep it at 60, you can run it in like a low res. If your game keeps dropping to 720p, etc., instead of doubling the frame rate, you can increase the resolution through. It's not machine learning. They're really key to point out it's not machine learning, but it's basically machine learning. And what it does is it looks at the images and the textures and upscales it to what it should be, from like a 480p to a full 4K image for each texture. So it saves room on your hard drive. It makes things load quicker off hard drives, loses less RAM. And it's just a really cool feature that's coming to Xbox. PC now, apparently Xbox is going to be first, and then some point down the road, a version of it is going to find its way to PS5. So everyone in the next year or two is going to get that full next gen, what we were promised, at least 4K, 60, sometimes 120 experience. It's going to be amazing if it's utilized.
Yeah, I gotta be honest that I'm really impressed by it because I'm looking at the video from the link that you shared with us here on Discord, and like I'm really excited to see how the Series S is going to run this. Like this is going to be a huge improvement, and the Series S already looks and feels good to play. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really excited to see that. And for the love of God, we don't have any more repetitions of some bad optimizations that we had with, for example, Control Ultimate Edition on the Series S, or even with that new game that just released, Necromunda, that is running at 40 FPS, like, and it keeps changing every single time, like really bizarre.
Yeah.
So with this, I'm really excited to see how things are going to run on the Series S. And now looking at this, it makes sense to me to see how the Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to run on the Series S, because this is something that I was really curious.
Yeah.
One cool thing you're going to see over the next few years as well off this is we've already had an FPS boost. Xbox will use this for backwards compatibility. You'll see games in higher resolution and higher resolution textures without the developers having to do anything. So it'll be a few years. It'll be like you're getting remasters without any work needed from developers. So not only are they going to be a better frame rate, they're going to look better. And this is something that Jason Ronald, the chief engineer for the Series consoles, talked about prior to launch. and we're now at the stage where AMD is starting to roll it out to developers. So it'll be interesting. I think Xbox will end up in a couple of years saying, right, not only are we doing back compat boost, FPS boost, you're now getting this old game which looks like it's been smeared with Vaseline and mud, with modern textures, modern resolution, and there's no extra work. Here you go, and it's going to look like a brand new game. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
This-
can't
That
wait.
sounds
amazing.
amazing.
Just amazing.
But
Yeah,
how?
but
I think a lot of greedy companies will be like, no, we want to
Yeah.
make our own remaster for $40, and
Rockstar. Rockstar.
Their remaster will be just unlocking it when you pay that a couple of quid. It'll
Yeah.
unlock it on your Xbox. The same
Hopefully-
game.
Now they don't
Yeah,
need
hopefully,
Grand
like-
Theft Auto 6. They can just remaster the
Oh, yeah,
remaster of Grand Theft Auto 5 that comes out at the end of this year. Then next year they can have
man.
a better version of it and charge you again.
no,
Or
No,
like
you can't
integer or
disclose that.
something cool.
the next game is going to be a remaster of Red Dead Redemption 1. That's it.
I'd be
5.5.
happy with that.
Yeah, I'd buy
Yeah,
that.
All I
I would
want
be
is a
happy with that,
HD
but, like-
remaster of GTA 3 and Vice City, and maybe the PS2 Vice City and Liberty City stories in a bundle, exactly how they used to play, exactly
San
the
Andreas.
same, just on San Andreas, but up-resed.
Mhm.
That's all I want. They were good games. That's all we need.
Remaster Bully and Bully 2 finally. Come on, man. Where's that?
Yeah,
What happened to Bully, man? Bully was a great game in my opinion. I don't know about you guys.
I
you
love
guys ever
Bully.
played
the
it,
game
but
was fun.
Bully was fun.
yeah. I haven't played the 360
was a good
version in
game.
ages. It's currently sat on my to-do pile because
Same.
I just haven't got through to it. But I've played it from start to finish on PS2. I'm like, I bought it on the Xbox. I'm like, I'm gonna play this, and I still haven't done it yet. So
And you never played it. Yeah.
I've played- I played the 360 version on 360, but I haven't played it. Like, I don't know if I don't think it has any enhancements, but I do want to play that game again because I did love that game.
I wouldn't expect it to have enhancements if it's a Rockstar game. They literally are like perverse
Probably
to
not.
having not perverse. That doesn't make sense. There's a word for that. They might be
Adverse.
perverse,
Yeah,
but they're
we're waiting
adverse.
for it.
They're adverse
Adverse.
to giving free improvements to their games.
Can we
But,
get a Rockstar Table Tennis 2? I mean, it's their greatest game. We need a sequel.
it's probably
Yeah.
a mini game in Grand Theft Auto 5 online, isn't it? Now that's probably where it's
Imagine.
gone. We'll move on to other good news. Minecraft Dungeons has hit 11.5 million players, which is absolutely
Congrats.
fantastic on celebrating its first anniversary.
Nice.
So that was an increase of 1.5 million since its last reported figures in February. So it's gone up like 1.5 million players in a couple of months, which is
Wow.
fantastic. And it says players have beaten the Art Trilogy on Apocalypse difficulty 1.4 million times. Now, that isn't that good when you think how many players there are in the game, but hey, they've released loads of stats. You can find them all on the Minecraft website. I can't read them all out. It's sort of like how many blocks have been walked, damage done, damage taken, health potions used, items used, and they're in the sort of billions and sort of stuff. So if you're interested in like cool little gaming stats, check that out. And also check it out. It's currently on Xbox Gamepass for PC and Xbox and cloud, and it's just had the new underwater DLC released.
Expansion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is actually really fun. We haven't finished playing through it yet, but we played the first level of it and quite enjoyed it the other day.
We managed to get to like what 5 achievements out of that.
Yeah, we managed to
Stuff
do a
like
load
that
of them in
was
one
really
level, didn't
crazy.
we? Yeah, so it's fun. It's actually added new biomes, new enemies, new animations. It's really cool. New gameplay mechanics. So I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't, or if you have played Minecraft Dungeons but you haven't played the DLC. You're missing out because the DLC levels I think are better than the core games, in my opinion. So
Yeah. I really like the atmosphere and all the levels are just really well done. It makes you feel like you're in some kind of like dungeon or has that like
yeah.
atmosphere. They do it really well.
And as someone like me, I don't particularly like Diablo-y style games because there's too statty and too menu-y, whereas this one is so straightforward and stripped down and simple. It is really fun to play.
Yeah.
So I highly
Well
recommend.
said.
It makes me want to play Diablo games more which is weird, but it's good. It's fun. It looks fantastic. It runs well. I mean, even when there's tons of enemies on screen, it runs sort of flawlessly for me. I don't really have any issues with it ever. So
On the wait a second. On the One X, on the Series X, what are you
that's
talking
on a
about?
Series
Which console are
X.
you talking about?
So obviously maybe on
There
older
we go.
consoles it won't, but it's time to upgrade, peasants. Get your Series S and X's.
That's a nice message. That's a nice message from the podcast to you. Thank you very much for watching this.
If you're in the UK, you can currently get a Series S at Game on Trade for £99 or less if you trade in another Xbox console. So it's £99.99 minimum, or most, should I say, depending on what type of console you trade in, and that can drop all the way down to sort of like £49.99. So if you're wanting to upgrade to a Series S, they seem to be more readily available in the UK. Go to Game, like you have to do it in store. But if you take your old Xbox, you can upgrade it for £50 to £100 and get a Series S, which I think is fantastic. So I think if you've got a One X, it's 50. If you've got like a 2 terabyte Xbox One, it's 50, and then the rest are sort of like 75 and £99. But still a fantastic deal for those who haven't got one yet and that want to just trade in. I've not seen one so cheap in a while, and you get a better deal on your trading points. We're going to move on to potential game news. So there's been 3 that I've noticed or seen online, games that have been sort of registered or appeared on stores or have like ESBR ratings recently that apparently are going to be coming to Xbox. So one which I thought was interesting is Flight Sim has been rated for Xbox One, not just Series X. Now this could just be in hindsight for the future, or it could actually, they may have finally got it working at a decent amount for the Xbox One, which is great. Oddworld Soulstorm has been rated for Xbox, which was expected because obviously it was always going to be a timed exclusive like the other Oddworld games, and that was previously like a PS5 and PC exclusive. And the best one ever is, for a lot of people, is Persona 5 has popped up on the Microsoft Store as a listing.
Nice.
Basically hinting that it's either coming to PC Gamepass or PC through the Microsoft Store, or it's coming to Xbox, which sort of leans into the fact that it's been teased for a while that was going to get announced at E3. So what do you guys think to those sort of 3 games sort of coming to one to Xbox One, and also the others coming to sort of the Xbox platform as well?
I think it's interesting.
No, go ahead.
Like,
you go first.
No worries if you prefer to go first. Okay, for
No,
5
go
minutes.
ahead.
No worries. Okay, like I think it's interesting, especially because of Flight Simulator, because they are respecting the consumer by doing that. Because I only have an Xbox One X. No, I do have a Series S, but imagine the person that says I only have an Xbox One X, but I really would love to play Flight Simulator, and I don't have a really strong PC to do so, and then. Oh yeah, I would need to buy an next-gen console. No, you don't. You can play it on your Xbox One. I am just worried to see if the minimum that they done it to see if it is playable. It is really playable there, because that's what worries me a lot. That game looks beautiful, and like I really am curious to see how it's going to run and look on the Xbox One. But if it works, that's awesome. And
Well,
go on, Lucas.
oh, I was thinking something else.
Go.
No, but is this still about like Oddworld and Persona 5 coming to Xbox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I've never played Persona games. I just heard a lot about them. People love them. So it's like kind of, I guess I would maybe try it out. I don't know. Oddworld, I used to love Oddworld. So that makes me happy that it's going to come to Xbox. I just remember playing Oddworld from like years ago. I don't even remember when the last one. I think it was like PlayStation 2 or something. I don't remember. But yeah, That sounds cool to me. And I don't know if they're going to be if these games are going to be like optimized for Series X and S. If they're not, that's disappointing, but hopefully they will be. So that's my opinion on that.
I'm just baffled how a base Xbox One is expected to run Flight Simulator, to be honest. I know Phil Spencer before said about using base Xbox Ones to use the web browser to run xCloud to get the next gen experience on an old Xbox. I don't know if they're going to do it that way, and this will be the first one they actually show doing it, because I just can't see a base Xbox One running that game that doesn't look like everything's made out of cardboard.
No, it'll
think they
probably
are
be
going
either
to-
scaled back or it's going to be streamed, in my opinion.
Maybe they are going to show. Now that you talked about it, maybe they will show something like that on E3 during their conference. Like, this is running on an Xbox One fat, like, just so they
I don't know how
make
they're going to
everyone
do
feel.
it.
Yeah, nobody knows like what kind of witchcrafts they are going to do. Yeah,
Here we are. Fabio confirmed it. Insider.
blame Gina.
Anyone else looking forward to any of those games? I mean, I'm quite looking forward to Soulstorm because I'm a big fan of the original Oddworld games. I haven't really played any since.
Abe's Odyssey.
But Abe's Odyssey and Exodus were fantastic games on the PS1.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I played those games on PS2. Were they on PS2? One of them. I think
The one on
I don't think
PS2
the
was
original
Munch's
game.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
It was
That's
the
one
other
that I
one,
played.
the one with that was a first-person shooter, which was actually
like
good as
Cowboy,
well.
right?
Everyone
Yeah,
hates
the
it.
cowboy
Cowboy or
one.
something like that? Yeah. I mean, I think I played the Odyssey one. I don't know. I always found that game interesting. Like, I don't think I ever finished it. Like, I never played through it, but I think I'll give this game a try. It looks interesting. Like, I was pretty disappointed when I heard that. Originally I thought it was going to be like a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Well, not now. Now it's a time exclusive. So I think that's cool. Like, I was gonna probably check it out on the PS5 once I get one, because I don't have one yet. But now that it's coming to Xbox, I'm just gonna try it on the Series X, and yeah, you can check it out. I am a little bit uncertain about, like, I don't remember the one that I played on the PlayStation 2 being really like a stealth game. As far as I remember, this one seems more like it's more focused on stealth, which I do like stealth games, but this one just kind of seems a little bit frustrating based on the trailer. But I mean, I'll see. I'll have to definitely make more of an opinion on it when I actually play it.
Totally off topic, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Stubbs Gaming for stopping by in the chat. He's got a really sweet channel and has really good balanced content. And we just brought up something together in the chat. Have any of you all played Master Chief Collection here lately?
The other day.
I played.
Not that long ago.
I played Halo 2 campaign on Legendary yesterday. But go on.
Well, so fun speculation. Mav7, they do, of course, the Xbox Ultimate podcast every Friday, and they do Fun Pop on Thursdays. Well, I always join in with their podcast and their crew on Friday nights for their aftercast gaming. And when we played Master Chief Collection last week, and we all immediately noticed the high level of detail that we did not notice the prior week in Master Chief Collection. And I honestly believe that Master Chief Collection has started using the RDNA 2 and DirectX 12 Ultimate features like DLSS and VRS. And because you can definitely tell the textures that are right in your face are so sharp and detailed. It just goes to speak. I mean, these are old games that are being given this treatment. What are we going to see in the future with games that are developed around these techniques? It's going to be a very, very great generation of gaming to be part of. And that goes back to what you all were just talking about. yeah, the improvements we're going to see on these games that are, being touched up and being brought back out are going to be amazing. Totally amazing.
Completely out of the topic, but that was a really awesome shout out and really nice fact. I didn't notice that. I will pay more attention to Master Chief Collection when I play that game.
It's not your bad, brother. I muted myself because I got one of them clicky keyboards and I didn't want it to interrupt your all's conversation.
No worries. But like, I think it is really nice, especially because I just discovered this right now with you talking about it. I will try to pay attention, and then nice. But
I mean, Bob's right.
Shall we go back?
The games this gen are going to be beautiful. We're like 7 months in, and we're already seeing games that look like the new Horizon.
Yeah.
And there's like people online like, oh, you'll never see this on Xbox. It's like, do you not remember what early gen games looked like last gen? You're going to be 8 years from now looking back going, oh, look at that Horizon. That looks awful.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, but that's going to be happening apart from Rise. That aged like fine wine. People look back at that now at 920p or whatever it was and go, ooh, that game is beautiful. Maybe Horizon will be that of this gen. Who knows?
I just hope that every game is like optimized for Series X and S, because like if you look at Xbox One X and the regular Xbox One, they all didn't get enhancements for the Xbox One X.
But the One X did come out at the end of the gen, and it was very limited. It didn't get bought by a lot of the percent, like probably only about 5 or 10% of that of the player base upgraded. Whereas at least with this generation, out of the gate, they're already beefed up consoles. They've already got those enhancements ready to go. So basically, an enhanced game should technically just be a standard game. We're in that weird phase at the moment, though, where it's cross-gen still. They're still supporting Xbox One, so you're getting the smarter delivery, which is fantastic. But give it a couple more years till the next gen sort of takes over fully and they stop supporting Xbox One X, and Xbox One will not have it. I don't care. The current quality is good enough for me. It's already great. I've not enjoyed playing on an Xbox as much as I have at the moment since early 360 days. And now it feels like such a good start to a generation. I mean, yes, we haven't got many exclusives as of this point, but there's so many other games that run absolutely fantastic and play fantastic. And I've got all like smart delivery and quick resume. I've got too much choice, and I love the fact that they're going back through the library and making everything look nicer and stuff like that. So I am happy to wait another year or two for this next gen to fully kick in. So
it is. It's all mind blowing, really. I mean, every time I see an update for an Xbox game that is a substantial update, like 9-10 gigs or more than that, it makes me want to start the game back up and see if just how different it looks and feels. It's really exciting time to be an Xbox gamer.
I've loved going back to play games though with just standard games with no enhancements, just for the load times alone, having the power to just load them up. Some games feel like different games just because you're jumping into them and going, and you're like, there's nothing added to it.
It's a big deal.
Just one thing, since you guys are talking about optimized games for the next-gen consoles. Yeah, that's really nice, that's really beautiful, but I just wanted to point out what the fuck's going on with Wreckfest on the Series S. Because THQ released an action update for the Series X and the S, and the Series S update is horrible, not in terms of visuals. The game looks beautiful, but the performance is like, 15 to 10 FPS when you are racing with a bunch of people. Like, for what I understood, they got the Xbox Series X version and they decided to put everything on the S. They didn't decided to manage to adapt their updates for the S.
Yeah, they didn't optimize it right.
And the FPS is just horrible. They're like, THQ Nordic, please fix this shit.
Especially when they're charging you for the privilege as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not even a free update.
It's a paid update.
I'm paying. I'm paying to get a bad
That
performance.
sucks,
That's
man.
just crazy.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
games, man. Like, I've had so many weird problems with the games, and you're just like, should I return it or should I wait for it to be fixed? You know? Oh man.
So Wreckfest is an enhanced game, so you can play the last gen one, but with next gen, like better textures and frame rate. So you can just put it into high quality visual modes and it locks the frame rate. But then if you want more people on the track and some extra, even better textures, you've then got to pay for the patch. To be honest, I haven't paid. I've just been running the Series X version of it, and it seems to be running fine for me. So I'm playing the enhanced version, but not the paid enhanced version, which it's all getting a bit confusing with some games in that regards. It's like, oh, we've
So
patched
in
it for free,
theory-
but we've also got a super good patch you can pay extra for.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed. I don't agree with paying for upgrades. If it's a new game, if it's a full remaster, fair enough. But for charging extra for,
Sorry.
yeah, for charging extra for like FPS boosts and resolution and frame rate, it's just bullshit. It shouldn't. It's not right. They did it with Tony Hawk's as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but speaking of that, cross-gen games, current Xbox and PC exclusive, the Medium has also been.
I just want to point out that we just completely forgot to talk about Persona. But yeah, nice to see that it's coming to Xbox. That's it. We can go on.
There's not much to say. We've talked about it a couple of episodes ago, and as someone who hasn't played it, and I don't think many of us have played it, it's good. It's good. It's finally here. It's sort of the last big Atlas,
But
sort of franchise that hasn't come to Xbox yet. So
yeah, but go on. I noticed that you got annoyed just because I interrupted.
I'm only winding you up. I don't
Son
really
of a bitch.
care.
So go on.
But yeah,
go
so
on.
the Medium has been rated for Xbox, not Xbox. The Medium that was on Xbox and PC has been rated for PlayStation 5. So that's great for PS5 owners. They're going to be able to play that soon. We always knew it was a timed exclusive. I'm sure it was announced pre-release last year. But it's a nice little walk-in sort of simulator where you can only die up to 4 points. Is that right, Gina? 4 or 5 points you can die.
4 or 5 points you can die, yeah.
But other than that, it's a nice little system. I'm interested to see how it runs on the slightly lower powered PlayStation 5 because it didn't run amazing on the Xbox Series X. I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't like mind shattering. It ran at 900p, obviously because it was running 2 games at once. Because you're playing 2 alternate realities at the same time, which I thought was a really neat feature. But I'd be interested to see how it holds up. Obviously, because the PlayStation 5's got the slightly quicker SSD, but it has the less sort of raw processing sort of power that the Xbox has. So I'm interested to see if anything changes or if it's just going to run exactly the same, which probably would be the case. So
I saw a preview earlier, and the preview was saying that it actually runs at a better frame rate and resolution. However, Call of the Sea did the same thing when it released a couple of weeks ago, and they patched the Series X version to then be slightly better than what the PS5 version was, because they basically just didn't touch it until they released it on PS5 and it ran better, and they were like, oh yeah, we can now do this for Series X, and patched it up.
That makes sense, because they've had that extra sort of 6 months of dev time to make these versions better. They can then implement it. As long as they do that, I don't mind, because it makes sense. It's the same with something else came out. It was better on the PlayStation 5.
They did,
yeah, and then they tweaked it on the Xbox. So
it's now massively better, more foliage, higher resolution, better frame rate, which is great because my favorite Twitter guy, Jada, was sharing images of how much better it is, and then the next day it got patched. And all of a sudden, it was just like an infinitely better game on Series X, and he never spoke of the game again. He'd never played it, obviously. I hope the same happens with the Medium, even if it just brings it to parity, because what you want to see is, there's times exclusives that are going to go both ways. You want to see them spend that time to learn how to, do things better and then make it better for the people who've already paid it. So if this was going the opposite way, if it was an old PlayStation 5 game and it came to Xbox and ran better, if there was a way for them to patch the PS5 version to match it, I would like them to do that, so they're getting people who've already paid for it get that same experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, rather than sitting here and going, haha, I got 100 extra lines of resolution at 2 frames a second more, because I bought the right bit of plastic. Woo!
It's
it's not
silly.
about that.
I mean,
That's
cool for
back to
people who
that.
haven't played it though. But
Yeah.
You also
If
don't
you're-
want to like recreate what happened with Biomutant, where people were saying like, oh, Microsoft paid for enhancements, or or like just them flaming THQ Nordic and the developers for saying that like we worked on the Xbox Series X or the Xbox version more, or whatever. Like that's just and that's what happens if you have situations where the games are not like Gina said, like on parity. Like it's bad. So
Do you remember
'cause
the
people
good
don't
old
wanna-
days when they were all the same and we didn't have
Yeah,
any of
right.
this shit? If they brought out a game on PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, 95% of the time it was just exactly the same game and no one gave a shit. No one rushed to Twitter to check if it had 1 frame faster than the other or if it was a
Yeah.
slight resolution. We just played the games and enjoyed them and we were happy for them. So,
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I blame
I'm
Digital Foundry. It's all their
Yeah.
fault. He's
That's
goddamn
actually true.
Digital
I find it
Foundry.
interesting how they do it, but it just
I
flames
love it.
console wars and it's just
Yeah.
silly.
I still think
it
that
does.
channel's bullshit. If they, you tell me that they don't like console wars, yeah, they like it. Like if they say that,
okay, look, you just made us lose any chance of us to invite someone from Digital Foundry here. That's it.
One thing I
Oops.
will
Back
say.
you.
One thing I will say about them, when Hellblade 2 was announced, they were saying there's no way this can be a game. There's no level of depth, like pop in, there's no thing, it's all there, this can't be possible. And then we've learned with Unreal Engine 5 that is possible. And then when the Horizon 2 trailer came out, they were praising how flawless the whole thing was. And the best part of the video, if you watch, is they say there's zero pop in, no level of depth. And as they say it, all the grass pops in. And they've just completely overlooked it, and there's the bit where the details pop in and the hair, and they just miss it all. And then they're saying about the
No.
destructible environment and how incredible it is. And if you watch that bit, when the thing gets destroyed, loads of the blocks disappear in midair, some sink into the floor, and there's no rubble left after the building's destroyed. But they just completely missed it, and they just praise it the whole way through, and it does look incredible.
It looks incredible,
They
but it's
rip
got
apart-
issues.
Yeah, they rip apart Halo Infinite with like 1,000,000 times zooms. They then go into Hellblade 2 and this can't be possible, there's no LOD pop, and then this comes out and they're like, oh yeah, it's beautiful, no LOD pop, and it's there in front of you, and they just miss it completely. These are the experts who go frame by frame, so yeah, frustrating because I really like this stuff as well. I think they're really good in what they do, but they miss some obvious things sometimes, or the way they word stuff where they go, oh, that's unfortunate. And then when Xbox dropped a couple of frames in Division, it's like, it shouldn't be doing that. That's terrible. It's like, it's less than what the other thing was doing. Like, you don't help yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget Skyrim on PlayStation 3.
Oh,
Oh,
that
God.
was a that was a
Jesus
train wreck. It
Christ.
still doesn't work right.
But that's just Bethesda, really. We know that's just Bethesda
Like,
just not checking it.
Skyrim, like Skyrim on PS3 is like equivalent to what Fallout 76 was during release date. Holy
Yeah, that's what
fuck.
Fallout 76 is. Skyrim on PS3 is what Fallout 76 is on everything.
Yeah.
Didn't Bethesda say they couldn't put ladders in Oblivion or Skyrim because they couldn't get it to work, and then modders did it in like a day? I'm like, who the fuck do
Yeah.
you hire? Do you know what? I just
Oh,
imagine the
man.
guy who was in charge of that is the guy is thingy from Jurassic Park, and he's just sat there and he's like, "No, I can't do that. Sorry." We all shit all over his desk. He's like, "Nah, you don't pay me enough to do
mean-
ladders, bitches."
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that,
16
like look at what modders have done. Like, I mean, they added co-op into all of those Bethesda games. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
heard about this other. There's like this mod out apparently for Fallout 4, I believe it is, where it's like a Miami mod or something like that. It's like a whole new place. It has quests and everything. It was made by like one guy, and then you also have that. I don't even know if this is like still a thing, but I believe there was like a Skywind mod, which was like basically Morrowind in like Skyrim's engine, being
Wow.
remade by like a group of modders, and I don't know how that's going, but like when I saw the trailer for that, it looked amazing, and I think that they did the same thing with Oblivion as well. Like those games look
Oh.
amazing, and it's just modders, like random people that have these skills that they've been doing these things for who knows how long, and they just look amazing, crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
16
crazy.
times the letters.
So
16 times the line.
we
I
have
saw a great
got
thing the other day where someone broke down one of the old Fallout games, and it turns out the transit system you used to, it looks like a monorail, but it's on the ground you used to get around. They've only just discovered in this last few months. I'll have to find a few to share with you guys. But what that is an NPC, like a normal person, and they put a hat on him that looks like a train. He's
Oh my
programmed to
god, are
walk.
you serious?
Yeah, he's programmed to walk around the map and stop at certain points. When you get into it thinking you're in a train, you actually just stood on a character inside his giant hat that looks
Oh
like a
my
train,
god,
and he's walking around the map. It's incredible.
that's amazing.
Now, we'll move on to more good news for Game Pass fans. So, they've announced a few new Game Pass games are coming. So, we are getting Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is being released on EA Play on June 24th. So, that means it'll be popping into a Game Pass Ultimate if you're an Ultimate subscriber, which is awesome because Hot Pursuit was a really, really cool game. So I'm looking forward to that. I must call out while we're here though, EA for killing loads of Need for Speed games off the online storefronts. So digital storefronts have lost Need for Speed Carbon, Undercover, Shift 2 Unleashed, and The Run, and that was from May 31st. I don't know if any of you saw that. They literally just put out like a Reddit post saying, oh, by the way, we're removing all these games today off the storefront, and yeah, bye. And they're basically shutting all the online servers and the online components down for those games in August, I believe. That's fine. I understand that they're going in August. They want to focus on new Need for Speed games. They want to put the resources to that. But the fact they literally pulled all of the games off the store with no notice other than like 5 hours is really shitty. I mean, they could have done what Forza did, where they released it for a month at a discounted price. So I'm not sure what happened there. But that sucks. And another
Yeah.
game coming to Game Pass that has been announced is actually an Xbox Series X and S and PC exclusive. So this weekend is Warhammer Skulls, which is like a Warhammer showcase event, and they announced an upcoming co-op action game called Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. Now, it's being co-written by Warhammer author Dan Abnett, and if you're into Warhammer and stuff, you'll know he's probably one of the best writers that does the novels and stuff like that that's around. And it's expected to launch later this year, and it will be day one on Game Pass, but there is no word on an Xbox One release, so it does look like it's next gen only. But that looks pretty awesome from the trailer. I'm
it
all
looks great.
all in for that.
Nice.
So it says it's similar to Vermintide, so you can access a central hub to pick up new missions, each earning favour with the Inquisition to unlock new missions and items. He also lent his expertise to Alien Isolation, which is also a really good game as well. So that looks cool. If you're into 40k, you're into space shootery games and space marine games, and that is something for you. And it's getting dropped straight into Game Pass, which is awesome. What else has been announced? Oh, you could talk about this one because you messaged me about this one the other day, Fabio.
Yep. Here's the thing. Do you guys know Crisis?
Yes. Does your
Did
computer
you
run
know that?
Crisis?
Did you know that? Did you all know? They did release the Crisis Remastered, the first game, right? With the next gen patch. So if you bought that game, fuck you, because they decided to release a bundle with all the trilogy remastered. Yeah.
Oh.
But right now we still have no idea if all the games are going to be optimized for the Series X, S, and PlayStation 5. But right now we only know that there's going to be this bundle remastered for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. But yeah, I would recommend for you guys to, if you are interested, just wait for the bundle to come out, and that's it. Forget about the first Crisis, and yeah.
I already bought the first Crisis remastered.
Well, fuck you. You need to buy the other bundle.
You have to buy it again.
Sucks to be you, Bob.
Well, no. Fuck you. I own Crisis 1, 2, and 3, the base versions. They need to give me that upgrade for free.
Well, wasn't the
Yeah.
remastered Crisis absolutely dog awful as well, though, and run like a hot potato?
Only in ray tracing mode.
Oh.
Only in ray tracing mode.
Yeah, and it's funny that on the Series X, the ray tracing mode is the worst mode there, but for the Series S, the ray tracing mode is the best mode on that console.
It's very strange, but this is shady practice. I mean, hopefully they release 2 and 3 separately at the same time, and it's not just a one-off bundle. Hopefully they do the right thing and obviously release it as a bundle and separately. But even then, if they release them separately, it's still going to cost you more overall buying the first one and then them two than it would be buying it all.
Hopefully they will release this bundle with next gen upgrades, and not just like here's the bundle for you to play it as a backwards compatible game on your Series X, S, and PlayStation 5. Like, if that was the case, why would I buy this? Like,
yeah, no, I totally agree.
So there's that.
Yeah, so that's shitey practice there, and then
Here's the worst part.
Yeah, so they have announced. We were talking about this on not the last podcast, the podcast before, because there was rumors they were going to announce a Sonic Colors game. That was announced at the Sonic anniversary show, which was last week. Before the last podcast, was one of the most pointless 15 minutes of my life. So I'll never get back watching that. Nothing was announced of interest. Really, other than they're making a Sonic Colors sort of remaster for modern consoles. It's going to Switch, Xbox, and PS4. And there's a new Sonic game in production, but they haven't said what it is, and there was no gameplay of it. But the big thing that we're talking about here is the stupid Sonic Colors Ultimate Edition. So this is like a collector's set for Sonic Colors, and it comes with the most pointless item ever, a exclusive crappy keyring, which looks like you'd get from like a 2p slots machine. And the funny thing is, it's not even of Sonic Colors, it's of the baby Sonic from the Sonic movie. So yeah, if you like cheap tat with your game, you can pay an extra like £10-15 and get a very ugly, very uninteresting and cheap, nasty looking crappy keyring. Enjoy.
Wow. It sounds worse than Fallout 76, where they had they were supposed to give you a type of bag.
The duffel
and
bag.
It ended up being, it was supposed to be like a duffel bag made of cloth, and it was just made of
Nylon.
plastic or something, nylon or whatever.
It was nylon.
Yeah, I don't know what was worse.
Do you remember when collector's
bag.
editions used to be good? I mean, I had a conversation with one of my friends the other week at uni, and we were saying how the GTA 4 collector's edition had that lockbox that you can still use. You can lock it up. It was like a big metal lockbox. You could put stuff in and lock up. I'm like, they don't make stuff like that anymore. It's just tat.
Yeah.
I'm holding out for a good Halo Infinite Legendary Edition.
Like goddamn it, even Batman Arkham Asylum Collector's Edition was awesome. What's going on right now with those?
Gears had an awesome collector's edition. Came with a drone. It's supposed to be like Jack from Gears 5.
I remember getting the Dead Rising 2 Steelbook, and you got a pen that was a syringe with it, because obviously that's what sells games.
Yeah,
it was red, and when you pushed the pen out, it looked like the blood was going down. I was so excited. I paid extra for this crappy Steelbook to get this pen.
Sucker.
You are a strange guy.
I think, Ash, you're the only other person I know who read the Dead Island book other than me.
Yeah, well, you get it for free.
They gave it to me free.
Yeah,
when I've got the game.
Yep. And that
Awful.
led me to buying the Fable books because you got the code for the really crap weapon that wasn't even as good as the weapons in the game. I felt ripped off. I was gutted. But yeah.
I think we
so-
mentioned last time the Dead Island book, which had spelling mistakes consistently throughout it.
yeah.
A lot of effort
I've
went
got it
into
upstairs. I'll dig it out and I'll show everyone in excitement.
that book.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do
And
a
it tells
live.
you the
We'll do a
exact
live
story
reading.
that you play on the game, so it ruins the game for you if you read the book first, like I did.
Yeah,
I went
it's
on holiday and I was like, I'll take this with me to read through because I'm not going to be able to play the game. And then when I came back, started playing the game, I was like, I've just read what I'm about to do.
it's awful. They don't make stuff like that
Mhm.
anymore, though. It's a shame. But I'm looking forward to Sonic Colors finally being on Xbox because it was I believe it was a Wii exclusive. So at least it'll be nice to play it without the motion controls, which will be good. And other than that, we're sort of coming to the end of the news where we've got the Game Pass additions and removals. Let me just get them up, as I've totally lost the page I had up. So my bad.
Professionalism.
I'm
We are
professional
also
today.
professionals. There we go. There we go.
There isn't much
You
out
read
this week.
an article like you read an article saying da, and then you go to the part you want to talk about.
So the game's leaving soon. That are leaving on June the 15th, so you've got 10 days left to play them. Is Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown on console.
Fantastic.
Night Call on cloud console and PC, which is like I don't even know what type of game that is, but it looks pretty interesting. But supposedly it's like 150 to 200 hour completion, so it may not be something you want to jump into at this point.
I believe that's a point-and-click adventure game. I could be wrong though.
West of Dead on cloud console and PC. That's isn't that top-down sort of shooter game? Like the Western
From
roguelike.
Hellboy.
Yeah,
It's a roguelike.
Wizard of Legend on cloud console and PC. Observation on cloud console and PC. Now, this is a quicker completion. You can finish it in about 6 hours. This is quite a nice little walking simulator style game. I highly recommend people try it. I haven't started it properly. I've been watching about it and it's interesting me, so I'll probably play that in the next sort of week before it goes. So that's what's leaving. All that's been added this week. There hasn't been a lot added for a change, unfortunately. We've had what was it? We had Conan added, which I keep meaning to play. So you've got your Sandy
Warrior
Penis,
Mercenaries
Yep.
5.
Sandy Penis Simulator. For Honor has been added. That's out today on cloud and console. And Wild at Heart has also been added on cloud and console and stuff like that. So, and I lie, there's also Darkest Dungeon, cloud console and PC, and Backbone, which is on PC. That they're the ones that have been announced. So it's a bit of a slow start, but I'm assuming that's because E3 is a week away, and they're going to save it, and they're probably going to shadow drop a ton of games at E3 like they always do. So yeah,
I hope so.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's a really bad month.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon, that game is tough and it's scary. Like, because it's basically like a dungeon crawler, but like 2D, like side scroller view. So it's kind of like you might think it looks like a platformer, but it's tough, man. Like I recommend it, but it's like you recruit like different kinds of like people with skills, and it's permadeath. So like if you have like 4 people in your group and you go to dungeons, and if you lose someone, they're gone forever. But you have to keep on recruiting and getting money so you can recruit and buy new weapons. But I recommend it. It has a really cool art style. If you like a really interesting artistic look to a game, and then you're like games are kind of, this game's like stressful and your characters get stressed out and you have to put them in asylums. And this one he goes in asylum, other one he like drinks to relieve stress, the other one goes to a brothel to relieve stress. And if they're stressed out, you can't use them. so you have to wait until they're not stressed.
How funny it is. A game that is so fucking hard that even the fucking game character gets stressed out
Yeah,
because
and you
like,
get stressed out when you play it because you're just like because you have there's a narrator and he's talking about what's happening. He's like you're terrified. He's like you're gonna have nightmares. You're like oh shit. Because the monster, because like it's basically the story in that game is crazy because it's like this rich old man was bored and he's like, I heard about that there's maybe something underneath my castle that's I want to explore. So he was looking for something because he was bored and he ended up uncovering like hell or something like that. So
As
it's
you
like
do.
so like
yeah,
it's funny because
what a nice story.
yeah, because it's like all his fault. It's like, yeah, this is all my fault.
Like what a
It's funny.
deep
Yeah.
plot. Holy fucking shit.
And yeah, I recommend it. It's hard though.
Nice. So, anything else from Game Pass?
No, that's it this week. It's been a very lean week. Like I say, I'm assuming it's because of E3, and also that's there is they've Game Pass France have announced they're doing Game Pass Festival on this week.
Monday and Tuesday, isn't it?
Monday and Tuesday. There's
Yeah.
not a lot announced for it. No other Game Pass account has even sort of acknowledged this is existing. So I don't know if it's a France exclusive. We don't know if it's going to be. It says they're going to celebrate the games. We don't know whether they're going to have any announcements or if it's just going to be sort of like highlighting what's already on Game Pass. But keep an eye out. It's on Game Pass France at the moment. But there's, like I said, nowhere else it says anything about it. I can't find anything else online. So it could be something really amazing. It could be like a pre-E3 sort of showcase of upcoming games, or it could just be 2 days of them talking about the games that are already on Game Pass, in which case it's not as cool.
That will be shit.
Yeah.
That will be shit.
It was amazing because they were really hyping it up on their account on Twitter yesterday as this groundbreaking announcement. And then they announced it today and they're very excited about it, but they can't tell anyone what it's about. It says it's Game Fest and it'll be about games. And people are like, well, yes, Game Pass is about games. I don't get why this is a big announcement. Is there exclusives coming? Is there new things? And they're like, yeah, we can't tell you. So thanks for hyping us.
Yeah,
you could have just told us there's something coming next week, you know?
Yeah, they may as well have just
There we
like
go.
Shadow announced it on the Monday and just done it, and that's it.
Yeah.
No.
But so
There
we'll
we
keep
have
an eye on that. And with that, that brings us to the end of our news for this week. So what we're going to do now, obviously, it's literally E3 is a week today. We're going to quickly go round everyone. Now we're obviously a week away and sort of find out what you guys think is going to happen at E3 and your sort of final predictions as such. So we'll start with you, Bob, because we haven't started with you in a while. What do you think we're going to see at E3, and what do you want to see?
That's a nice answer. So, Gina, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I'm trying to put a lot of thought into it.
Oh man.
Well, I do believe I believe we're going to start seeing them open up more games for back compat. I do believe we're going to see that started back up because the community is made their voice heard, that there are a lot of games that they want to see back compat. There are some games that I still have my 360 hooked up for that I would like to just, I'd like to put it on the shelf as a memory of my gaming and not a necessity of my gaming. So please, Xbox, if you're listening, I want all the Fear games to be playable on my Series console.
Xbox, if you're listening, because we are that big enough.
Yeah. I think we're going to get an announcement for a Halo Infinite demo in August. leading up to
Okay.
release so that they can get a lot of feedback from the community so that they can fine tune things and get adjustments made to the multiplayer before release. Because if everybody remembers when we saw the Halo Infinite gameplay, that did say start demo at the very beginning of the gameplay video. So I do think there is a demo coming, whether it is early September or late August. It will be to give the 343 Industries time to make necessary changes so that it is accepted well by the community. I do think they're going to touch on the Ubisoft being added to Game Pass to go right along with EA Access. I think we're going to see Horizon.
Forbidden West? What? That's the insider Bob says that
No, we're
Horizon
gonna
Forbidden
see.
West
We're
is going
gonna
to be
see.
available on Xbox.
Forza Horizon 5 will be shown to the world at E3, and it will drop this fall.
Yep.
Next,
Nice.
alongside with Halo Infinite. And we'll see a lot of surprises, and I'm not sure what those surprises will be, but I'm sure that we will be very excited about them all.
Yeah. Well said.
What about you, Slayer, then?
Oh, I just want to say, I don't know about you guys. I think we've kind of talked about this before, but I will be the first one to say that I'm a little disappointed that the show is only going to be an hour and a half long. I felt like it should have been a little longer, especially because it's now Bethesda and Xbox and all the other studios and everything. So I feel like there's not enough time. So unless they're going to just do like a montage of like, 50 different games, like we're not going to get, enough time to see everything. I do hope that they have a lot of crazy stuff in store. I do want to see more back compat stuff because, just like Bob, I do have a lot of games that I still have for my 360. I have a lot of the discs. And I do have my 360 Slim next to my Xbox Series X setup. So, if they don't show a lot of them, because I'm sure that there's a lot of licensing agreements and all that stuff that probably will lead to some of these games not coming out on back compat. So I at least still have them, and I can play them. I do think and I hope that we will see a more of the new Fable game. And I hope, just like I've said before, I hope they announce a Fable Trilogy Remastered collection. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
What
We can
about
always
you,
hope.
Jenna, then?
So I'm a bit more optimistic, I think. So I'm just checking here about the games we know that are coming this year because I've got a list here. We know there's 26, not 16, I underplay myself, 26 third-party exclusives due to launch by the end of the year, which in 90 minutes they're not going to be able to show them all or give them a bit of a breakdown because there won't be enough time. And then we've got 3 to 4, 3 that we know are launching that are first-party in Halo, Psychonauts 2, and Flight Simulator. So I think we're going to get 5 to 10 minutes of Halo Infinite, probably multiplayer focus this time more than campaign, and then we'll get like a little campaign montage at the end for a minute. Psychonauts 2 will probably shadow drop or be announced for a July release. I can't see that being far off now. 2 to 3 new exclusives. I know Jason Ronald was talking about on the Iron Lords podcast. They asked him what his most anticipated Xbox exclusive was this year, and he said there's games that haven't been announced yet is its most exclusive. So fingers crossed one of them finally gets announced and doesn't get delayed. And you never know, Starfield might exist. It might have ladders in it. It could be crazy, I think, I think it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be 90 minutes of them. They said they wanted to focus on games coming out this holiday. So they've got 26 that people already know about. They're going to be at one montage of all the indies, and they're going to break down a few big sections like PlayStation does 5-10 minutes each for the bigger games.
Nice.
Horizon 5, yeah, I'm with Bob on that. I can see that happening. We know the next Forza Motorsport's not coming for a couple of years. And the Movies 2 is going to happen. We're finally going to get a sequel to the greatest game ever made, to rebooting Lionhead.
Am I
It's
the only
coming
one
back.
that hopes that they made the Fable team in Playground Games was going to be like Team Lionhead? I was so gutted they haven't named that team Team Lionhead, just to bring it back in some aspect. So
Give me a new Populous and Black and White. Bring it back.
Nice.
why are they not? It just melts your mind. It's just strange.
There's so many franchises that Microsoft own and they just do nothing with. Like, I know there's acquisitions.
Yeah.
There's always acquisitions for like the last 3 or 4 E3s. One I would love them to see them do is Team Sumo, who just make so many games for different companies. Get them and stick them on all the franchises. They recently did Sackboy, which is apparently an amazing platformer. Get them doing like Banjo-Kazooie's, Conker games. Yeah, just things like that. Just all the franchises Rare doesn't want to pick up or they haven't got a studio for. Just buy Sumo, because they're a huge company, and get them just churning out all these good licensed games.
Sumo are good. They made the Sega Sonic and Sega Racing series, which the first 2 were fantastic. The third one is shit, so don't play it. But the first 2 are fantastic.
They did do Crackdown 3 though. So
isn't Sumo Digital the studio that got handed Dead Island 2?
It's the studio that got handed Crackdown 3 to finish as well. So
yeah,
we don't talk about that.
That doesn't give me a lot of faith.
They do. Sumo have made some amazing games, and they are they're based about half. One of their studios is 30 minutes from my house, so yes, they are good. I would like to. They're sort of a team that work with other teams on projects. They don't do a lot themselves anymore. They seem to do a lot more. They do some games themselves, but a lot of their work seems to be sort of like support and auxiliary studios, and they help like finish games off and stuff like that. But one thing that isn't E3 related, but where you were talking about the exclusives, did everyone see the Bright Memory Infinite pictures that the developer posted today? Oh my god, it looks fantastic. And they've said the gameplay is finished. They're just going into the audio and like dubbing phase now. So that could come out this year as well, which I hope it does, because it had the demo was weird but had so much promise. And
it's great.
The photos looked amazing. And there's a driving bit in it. It looks like he was driving a car with a gun on the front of it. And I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. It's just like it's like a crazy sort of Eastern themed game. Like it's just madness. So I cannot wait for that. I honestly, I know it's made by like a small team. It's mainly spearheaded by one guy, but he's obviously expanded with his Microsoft Gamepass money. But I cannot wait for it, honestly. And big shout out, if you haven't seen him, jump online and just Google Bright Memory Infinite. I can't remember what the developer's Twitter handle is, but the photos are beautiful. Honestly, it looks like a different game to what it looked like last time they showed it, and it looked beautiful then. Moving on, Alucard, what are you thinking for E3?
Well, Crackdown 4. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Wrecking Zone 2.
I would love that. I enjoyed 3. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I like that.
No, I liked it. I like Wrecking Zone 2, but no, but I think, are we gonna go by what everybody's saying or just what I want?
What you what you want and what you think will be shown.
What I think.
What do you want and why do you think it's really possible to happen?
Yeah. I think they're gonna show a ton of gameplay on everything. I think they are gonna do it. I think you're gonna see a lot of gameplay, and I think they're gonna show gameplay for maybe Fable. And I thought they were gonna show gameplay for Hellblade 2, but now I don't know. But I think that they're gonna show something with Hellblade 2. And I think you're gonna see Forza Horizon 5 gameplay. And then you might see maybe a trailer or non-gameplay announcements for new games that nobody's ever heard of before. like supposedly they have a vampire game being made. I think they're gonna show like a logo or something like that. And then the new was it Indiana Jones? I think that's gonna be shown. I think they're gonna show something like a logo or like a trailer, cinematic trailer. But I think you're gonna see a lot of gameplay though. I think they're gonna do it this time.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Fabio?
For me, to be honest, I really hope they show for Microsoft and Xbox conference. I really hope they show Inside Entertainment Project. I want to see what that studio is all about. Also, I want to see Compulsion Games to show what they have been working on because uh, Inside is really good with classic style RPGs, and Compulsion Games has a lot of potential, especially with how We Happy Few went out, especially because of the concept of that game. So they can do something good. They can be really great, in my opinion.
mhm.
I hope to see some sort of demo for Halo Infinite or for the Motorsports, some sort of announcement. Not necessarily to say that there's going to be a demo this year, but that they are working on a demo and they, during the end of the year or the start of next year, they're going to release a demo, something like that. I also hope for them to announce any sort of acquisition. It can be only one small studio, just like they did with Double Fine. But I really want to see something like that just to see how well they are growing. I also would like to see, how can I say that? I want to see, it doesn't need to be AAA games. It can be small projects, passion projects, AA titles. But I want to see more first party AA or AAA exclusives to be released this year. Because like for yes, we do have a ton of exclusive games that are from third parties, but first of all, it's not first party, yeah. And second of all, we don't know for how long those games are going to be exclusive, if they are going to be timed exclusive. And yeah, I think that it would be awesome to see first party exclusives. It can be AA, it can be AAA. I don't care. I just want to see stuff. I just want to see the creativity. I just want to see the variety that
Yeah.
there is. I also don't want to see any like main focus spot for ID games because we already had the ID Xbox events, like to show a 10 minutes video with a compilation of a lot of indie games. Yeah, that would be okay. Yeah, but like we already had that with ID Xbox event, like so there's no point for you to show that, in my opinion. And yeah, for Microsoft, that was going to be it. And for Bethesda, I want to see them showing something from Tango Gameworks, The Evil Within 3, please. That would be nice. And I would love to see something from Machine Games to show that Indiana Jones video, some Indiana Jones gameplay, or to share with us a little bit of the development of how this is going to work. Is it going to be exclusive? Is it going to be timed exclusive? Is it going to be full multiplat? That kind of stuff. And of course, if it happens, if it can happen, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's going to be, but I would love to see Starfield to show up there. But yeah, that would be it for me. It's not necessarily like anything specific, but because everything in specific, in my opinion, would be crazy. Like I would love to see a Banjo-Kazooie game to get announced, but yeah, I know I'm far away. This is not going to happen.
Well, that's what they have Double Fine for. I think they'll do it.
Yeah, I know.
don't know. I think Double Fine should
But
be
I
left to doing
hope-
weird games. They're what they want to do, their own weird little projects. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what that's a nice thing since because Double Fine has been releasing those amnesia for those videos that they are showing about that some projects that they've been working on. I would love to see something from them also. But yeah,
I'd love to play
that's it
Armored
for me.
Slug.
Everybody forgot
think it
about
looks
In
great.
Exile. In Exile,
I-
nobody's
I
talking about
I
them.
talk I talked about In Exile. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, for me, all I want to
They are
see,
masters of RPG.
I want them just to see them announce first party stuff. Like, I want to see, I want to know what's coming this year. We need sort of concrete-ish dates. It don't have to be exact dates, but like a month or Q3, Q4. Do you know what I mean? I want to see
Or,
passion
or even
projects,
a
like you've said.
year.
Yeah, I just want to know that I'm getting some exclusives and it's coming soon. I want to see, I want to see passion projects like you say, Fabio. I'd love to see Double Fine do more little stuff. I'd love to see Rare go back to like smaller games and stuff, not just focus on Sea of Thieves and Everwild and
Everwild.
stuff. I'd like to see Everwild and know what the fuck it is. Um, I just want to
Yeah,
see stuff.
yeah.
I'd like because like Grounded was a really cool. I'd like to. I don't want them to like focus on what's already out. I don't want to see a ton of Sea of Thieves updates, Grounded updates. I don't care. Just tell us. Just do it quickly, like rapid fire. Like, oh, there's a 30-second clip as a Grounded update coming. Oh, there's a Sea of Thieves. We don't need like a 5-minute video saying there's a new Sea of Thieves update. We don't care. I want to see backwards compat additions. I'm not super fussed on FPS boost and stuff. I'll take them, but I want to see more games added. I'd like to see more OG Xbox games. The goal of that, like the goal sort of like ultimate goal would be the announced achievements for original OG games, which I doubt they ever will, but it would be nice.
Yep. That'd be
You
nice.
guys have pretty much covered the majority of the things I expect to be there, like Forza Horizon, possibly Starfield, probably Wolfenstein. It'll pop up and stuff like that. But I'd love to see, like I say, I just want to see more Microsoft stuff. I want to see Banjo. I want to see Fable. I want to see Conk. I want to see Blue Bloody Dragon. I want to see Lost Odyssey 2. I want to see literally ignore Scalebound just to piss everyone off. I want to see all those other IPs though. I want them to bring stuff back. I miss Alan Wake 2. I don't care if it's on PC.
Go back. You want them to go back to the 360 days. That's what
that's
you
all I want. I want
That's-
sequels to all the good 360 games that they never gave us sequels for. That there's no reason they didn't, because they were all fantastic. There was rumours they were buying IP. The only IP I want them to buy is either Silent Hill or Dead Rising. They're two IPs.
Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver would be fantastic.
I would love a Castlevania to be owned by Xbox. I would
Metal
like that.
Gear. I'm not fussed. I hope there's an acquisition announcement as well. At least one company, even if it's a small company, just give us something. But I'm not fussed. I'm not setting my expectations high, because every time I get really hyped about it, they're shit. They always are, and I'm just hoping it's like rapid fire. I hope there's not a lot of talking. I hope literally the first 2 minutes is like Phil coming onto the screen and being like, yeah, we hadn't done much this last year because of COVID, but everything I'm going to show you right now is coming to Game Pass, coming to Xbox, and boom, and it's just literally video, world exclusive, world premiere, and all that bollocks ongoing. And then I actually do want to see ID at Xbox, but I just want it to be one of those like 5-minute videos where it's like 50 games in 5 minutes, where they just rapid fire them and then show me it later
if
on.
it happens.
Yeah, and then show me it later.
Make it short.
Yeah.
Make it really short.
And I don't mind CGI for like new announcements, but I want to see some gameplay. But I'd rather it be like a CGI mixed with gameplay trailer. For me, I'd rather watch like a trailer that has like isn't full gameplay, because I don't want to watch someone else play it. I want to play it. I don't want to watch 15 minutes. Like that Horizon demo looked amazing, but I got bored halfway through because it's like, well, I'm not playing it. I don't want to watch that. I want to show me like clips of the gameplay and like snippets, and show me a cool like cutscene or something. But I don't want to just sit for 10 minutes watching gameplay. Show me that afterwards. This 90 minutes needs to be raw game announcements and just news, like Game Pass edition.
Yep.
We're getting Persona, we're getting Dragon Quest Heroes, we're getting Dragon Quest MMO, we're getting Final Fantasy 14 in the MMO, stuff like that. I don't want to see 15-20 minute long gameplay reveals, because just literally put that in a video afterwards, like Nintendo are doing. They're doing a 40-minute announcement of just software, they've said in their E3. So it'll be 40 minutes, and then after that there's a 3-hour separate thing that isn't an E3 show, which is just deep dives of all the games. Do that. I just want 90 minutes of my face being blown off with cool announcements and release dates and premieres and cool stuff. I don't want to sit and watch the same game for 20 minutes at a time, because there isn't enough time for that. They haven't got time to fit it all in if they're sticking Bethesda in as well. So
the main thing for that I would say for every one of us about E3 is that we do speculate, we do have our preference on what we would like to see there, but we need to be 100% sure that at least it's going to be a good time, it's going to be a good event. That's the main thing, because if you keep that in mind, that at least it's going to be a good event, you don't get your thoughts clouded by disappointment and hate just because that specific game or that specific thing that I really wanted to happen didn't happen, and then the whole event is a big load of shit. Like, don't do that.
I'm specifically not expecting a certain game. I just want to see games. I'm not going in expecting to see anything. I'd love to see Forza Horizon 5 and stuff. If I don't see them, as long as they show me something that looks cool, I'll live. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want it to be 90% third party either. It needs to be.
That's what I mean.
I don't think Slayer went yet though. Did he?
Yeah, Slayer was.
No, I did go. Yeah, I went.
But don't be a dick though. That's what we're saying. If they don't announce something, don't be a dick.
It's free. It's the best time to be a gamer. It's the best time of the year to be a gamer, and with this next generation that has just started, it's going to be awesome. Like, it doesn't matter the games, it doesn't matter which games are going to show up, or which gameplays are going to show up. If it's AAA, if it is AA, it's just going to be awesome. Like, just keep that in mind, and then that's it. That's the event for you there. You're going to have a really good time.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's not a 20-minute detailed breakdown of the GUG, I'm going to riot.
I heard it was 90 minutes of Scalebound confirmed.
And Scorn for 5 minutes at the end with dripping orifices coming out of walls and stuff.
Like GameSpot has an article of games that are confirmed. So I don't know if you've seen that.
Bright Infinite is on theirs, so that's pre-E3. They're having their own show where they're debuting games before E3, and that's one of the ones that's going to appear on there, which is weird because it's an Xbox exclusive and it's tied in, but it's being shown on an external site prior to E3.
Who knows? They might show it at E3, but quickly, so maybe this is more of an extended look at it.
Yeah.
One more thing, please don't try to look for leaks of the events. Like, you're just messing up with the whole surprise thing with the whole conference. Like, what's the point of? I'm gonna read a leak here of the fucking events, and then I already knew that was coming out, so I have no surprise at all. So the event was bad.
And we also need more Keanu Reeves. I'll be happy with that.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise apparently, innit? Tom Cruise is time for Starfield. That's the rumor.
They'll get him out and he'll jump up and down on a sofa saying how great it is.
I thought an insider said that Kurt Russell was going to show up there. So
Fabio Insider.
I think the
remember when was it when Bleeding Edge got leaked the day before the show? Was that E3 or is that something else?
I think it was E3 a couple of years ago.
That's a big leak, man.
Bleeding Edge was first shown at E3.
Yeah, I don't look, if you don't want to be spoiled. I'm going to try and go in blind. There's so many shows on the day, like on the Saturday and stuff beforehand. I'm not going to have time to look online. I'm just going to be watching videos to sort of catch up. And on that, we won't be doing a show next Saturday at our normal time slot because obviously the Xbox show is the day after. We haven't 100% decided what we're doing. I think we're going to do a video, an episode after the Xbox show once it's gone live, so we can at least discuss what's happened. But that we're going to discuss that, and I will post something up within the next sort of 2 days confirming exactly what we're doing. It probably won't be a watch along live because E3 haven't bothered to answer my request to do that. Thank you, E3, dicks. But we will be doing some. Maybe you mentioned. I know, Ginny, you mentioned thingy on Twitter. Maybe we could do the watch along like on Twitter on the little chat thing on Twitter. You know, the live thing. Because then we can watch it on our own screens and we don't have to worry about it. And then we'll do a show at a later date. But the time and full confirmed date, I will get up. It will be on. I'll set it up as a date on YouTube, like as a preset show, so you'll be able to check there. I'll post it up on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. So as long as you follow us on social media, you'll be able to find out. If you are listening to this on Spotify, you'll have to just check our social medias, which is at XBL Party Podcast on every platform: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, etc., just to find out. But I will make sure it's up in advance. But I can 100% confirm we won't be doing it on Saturday at 8 p.m. because there'll be nothing to talk about till the day after, basically, when the big news comes. And we don't want to do two shows that weekend. We've got lives, and we all want to watch E3 ourselves and enjoy ourselves.
And we all got things to play. So,
we've got a big enough backlog until we've got to get through everything before E3 now. So
I'll chuck mine on now.
That's it. Yeah.
Bob's already there. He's already playing.
He's been playing since he started, I think.
But that's KY Bob for you, everybody.
No, I was just wondering why Warhammer Vermintide has a 78 gig update.
Oh, there's a whole new campaign that's just been added.
Wow, that's huge. That's too big for an update.
Wait a second. You mean the first game or the second game?
The second one.
Ah, okay. I was like, oh my god, they are reviving the first game? What?
It's like I have a data cap, and like every month I'm like at 90% used. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Like updates are too. They're getting.
I'm glad I don't have a data cap. I've downloaded so much a month.
Yeah,
I'm in the terabytes a month on which I download. So I'd never.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there, man.
So many Rat-alike games.
That's it.
I'm
both. Just buried in Rat-alike games at the moment. They just keep coming at me.
Yeah, I know, right?
That explains your gamer score, okay?
I have no idea. My gamer score is a very average amount this month. It hasn't gone up 10,000 in 5 days. No excuse. That's it. Yeah.
Are we allowed to?
I have some work to do to catch up, man.
What did you say?
Me?
No,
sorry.
Gina, what did Gina say?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I said I didn't think we were allowed to speak about gamer scores. I thought that was another sore point this month.
No.
I'm too busy buying. I'm too busy buying Fortnite skins.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just
We're
kidding.
gonna have to start calling him Silver Exclusive soon.
Silver.
Hey,
exclusives.
whoa. No.
Well, guys, I have
It's only
to
June 5th.
cut out.
Yeah, well, it's end of the episode anyway. I'd like to thank all you guys for coming and being here on an actually short episode, a quick one. I didn't think it was going to be quick, but we've got through a lot quicker than normal. So a big thank you to you guys, and a big thank you to everyone that's watching and the chat, because the chat's been really busy today, so it's been nice to chat to you all. Stubbs and Sensei is in as always all through the episode, so thanks for you guys for taking part, and a big thank you to everyone who watches this on catch up or listens it on Spotify and Google Podcasts and all those sort of places. So big thank you to you guys.
Also, big thank you to all the followers of the Twitter page. We just hit 404 followers there. So thank you so much, guys. I don't know why the fuck are you following us? Like, we are just here talking shit.
We're cool dudes, man.
I have also
fanboys,
something
man.
I have announced on Twitter, but I haven't posted anywhere else. When we hit 500 followers on YouTube, I have a selection of signed Borderlands 3 merch that I'm going to give away to some channel followers. I've got some signed posters, some signed promotional cubes. I'm coughing.
I honestly thought he was going to say bathtub
He's
stream
dying
then.
over there. There we go. He's dying. There we go.
Genuinely, I thought it was going to be once we hit 500, it's the bath hot tub
Yeah.
stream.
He's
Hot tub
faking his death because he's
streams.
lying. He actually doesn't have any merch.
You just realised you got to go buy merch.
No, I have got
Yeah.
some upstairs, so we'll be giving that away when we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. But I'm going to call the end to the podcast because I'm coughing my guts up and I'm dying. Big thank you again to everyone, and we will see you for our E3 roundup episode next week.
You
So,
alright,
See you
man?
guys later.
I'm slowly dying, don't worry.
Oh my god. They're across the world, so we can't do
Thank you
nothing
so
about
much, everybody.
I'm close, I just don't care.
it. Oh, okay.
Damn.
That's true. There
Because
you
you're
go.
Welsh.
That's true. I have no soul.